the Hobart comedy scene, not just comedy, but also the theatre scene and pretty much everything else. I would be surprised if there's anybody in this room that doesn't actually know him and know what a lovely man he is. He's also one of our excellent Jokers crew here. He's been helping us out since we began here. We love him to bits. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please welcome to the stage the one and only Daryl Peebles!
Thank you, Gavin. Ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Baskin. Putting all that lights and stuff, and Gavin mentioned, of course, we function best when we, because our good brain, the daytime brain, is solar powered. That's great. I want you to give a thought to the Hobart City Council with their new parking meters. True story. Have you checked the one out at Salamanca Square downstairs underground? Solar powered parking meter. Who did that? I mean, if you don't believe me, go and check it out. So a big hand for the Hobart City Council. Bloody hell. Well, look, it's wonderful to be here, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. In fact, when you get to my age, it's wonderful to be anywhere. I know you'll find this a bit hard to believe, but I turned 69 recently. Oh, thank you very much. I know what some of you are thinking, oh no, he's too young to be that old. And others are thinking, I would have thought it was a bit more like 80. But no, I turned 69. It's a funny number, isn't it, 69? We grew up as kids, 69, to some mystique about it. You can blame the French for that, or as the Chinese would say, toucan chew. That's apparently the... but the problem with turning 69, of course, is the size of the cake needed to accommodate 69 birthday candles. At my party, the cake came out, it was about the size of Wimbledon. I was asked if I'd help serve, and of course I got my tennis racket. That's not true. The trouble is, getting old though, you're probably thinking, what's an old bugger like him doing up here doing stand-up comedy? And I must say, to go through the stresses and traumas of stand-up comedy, there's only one reason, and that is because I would like you all to be my friends, okay? Because when you get to my age, all your own friends start dropping off the twig. They start giving up their habit of oxygen addiction, you know? So I do need, it's true actually, I go to far more funerals these days than I do go to weddings or birthday parties. In fact, I went to a funeral only last Thursday, and I was the stupid bugger who caught the wreath. And I found myself, like 40 years ago, I used to bounce around the house singing that old Skyhooks classic, "Oh, my friends are getting married." Nowadays I mope around the house going, "Oh, my friends are getting buried." But if they're not dropping off the perch, then they're losing their marbles. Now here's a bit of a tip for all you young ones. If you've got somebody old, elderly in your life, you want to see if they're on the downhill slope a bit. A couple of things to look out for. First of all, they'll start repeating themselves. Secondly, they'll start forgetting things. Thirdly, they'll start repeating. It doesn't matter. Okay. I've got an old mate, Bill. Bill was a metal fabricator, probably the best in his trade, boilermaker world, the best in Tasmania. Wasn't well educated, not a very good speller. Starts to lose his marbles recently. We were walking down the mall, Elizabeth Street Mall in town, and he saw a sign on the shop and it said, "Not just bras." So he went in to see if they had any copper and lead. He was a wee bit worried though, the metal supplier selling women's underwear, but believe me, this is the same bloke who thinks that Muslim women buy their special apparel from a shop up in Davey Street called Burger King. So there you go. That's my mate, Phil. And we have a drink now, and I don't drink, as you said, I've got my cup of tea, but we as you get older, you've got to get frugal, you've got to watch your pennies a bit as pensioners, so we shop around for happy hour. So we find a pub with a happy hour, you can save a few bob. But it always worries me. Happy hour has always worried me because I'm concerned about the 7 dwarves. Do the other 6 dwarves get pissed off because Happy gets all the breaks? I don't know about that. Anyway, I've retired. I've retired quite recently. I had used up all my sick leave, so I rang in dead one day. Being the public service, of course, they sent out some forms in triplicate, cause of death, boredom, complications arising out of terminal bureaucracy, something like that. The other thing is, though, coming to a comedy club like this, what I really, really love is seeing the young Tasmanian comedians grow and develop. What about that? Have you seen some great young comics here yeah, give them a clap, it's great. And some Tasmanians go on to be some of the best comics on the national and international stages, and I really love that. And I was just thinking, just as we were in the green room there, what is it that an old thespian like me has that these young comedians don't have? And the answer is pretty obvious. It's arthritis. The thing is, we've got this common interest, I guess, in joints. Mine are a different sort of joints to theirs, but that's another matter. The other thing is, of course, social media. The young comedians of today are all over social media, and they sort of get a bit offended when us oldies get in on the act, and I can understand that. I mean, it's their domain. So what I'm trying to do now is develop some social media apps specifically for the elderly. I thought I'd try a couple out on you. I've got this app that I'm writing for old people to talk about their ailments, their ills, their aches, their pains, their medications. It's called What's Up. And it's got a little advertising byline, tell somebody who gives a shit, because that will differentiate it from the app I'm writing for constipation. I don't know whether to call this one Poo Tube or Snapshot. Anyway, I'll let you know when I finally get that one. The other one I've got is Instant Gran. That's for elderly women who haven't had children of their own. They might hook up with a grandfather, for example, and got this instant clutch of grandchildren. That's Instant Gran. I thought that would be a good one. What about Skype? That will allow old people to tell you of their life's achievements, either real or imagined. Skype. One I love is Faceplant. That's one about tripping hazards for the elderly. It's going to be used in conjunction with Tumblr. But the one I do like is Tender, which is the elderly equivalent of Tinder, of course. And it's just in case the romance gets to a point where they get a bit steamy and head off for a bit of the bedroom two-step, you've got to go gently. So I'm going to call that one Tender. What do you reckon? Any events? Yeah, I think they go well. But anyway, after retirement, I started to get a bit bored, and I shopped around for something to do, and I looked at those Jim's franchises. You know the Jim's franchises? Well, I was so impressed I bought the hat. How's that? But all the usual ones were taken, or they were too much hard work, like Jim's mowing, Jim's painting, Jim's fencing, Jim's bloody gardening. So I wrote to the Jim's people with a few of my own. I came up with Jim's cake decorating. They weren't interested in that one. Jim's wine tasting, didn't like. Jim's ice cream truck, no. So I thought Jim's Gym, there's a good one. Then I thought I couldn't be bothered working with all the wankers and posers, so and then I came up with a beauty, Jim's Pussy Grooming. I wrote it off, and they wrote back to me, told me to stop bothering them and stop being rude. But I wasn't being rude, ladies and gentlemen. I really do love cats. In fact, and I love cats' names, and I think the best example of a cat's name I've ever heard, I heard this week, it's a lady in France, and she's called her cat Brexit. Apparently Brexit is a very indecisive cat. It stands at the door and just meows and meows to be let out, and then you open the door and it doesn't go anywhere. So it's pretty good. But the other thing is, of course, you get to do all sorts of things in retirement. Like I've worked as Santa Claus, that was a good gig. And I also work in senior citizens clubs, retirement villages and stuff. And that's a great gig because, you know, I stand up, entertain. A lot of the oldies don't always get the jokes, but you can guarantee they'll piss themselves. In fact, the other day, an old bloke came up to me after a gig and he said, "Mate, you won't believe this." He said, "I just mixed up my incontinent tablet for my Viagra pill, and the doctor said it's the worst case of rising damp he's seen in quite a while." And the other day, they talked about forgetting things. I started a gig, I told a joke, the crowd laughed, I thought, that's great, and I started telling the second joke, and I realised I was repeating myself, and I thought, oh no, you know, I'm on that downhill slide, but once you get halfway through a joke, you can't abandon it. So I got to the punchline, and bugger me if they didn't all laugh and clap again. And I thought, that's interesting, I'll try a little social experiment. So I told the same joke for the third time, and once again I got a great response, laughter, clapping, and I thought, oh, this is easy. I did the whole 20-minute routine telling the same joke over and over and over again, and each time I got a big laugh and a clap. And I took my final bows, I was walking off the stage, And I saw the manager coming towards me. I thought, oh bugger, I'm in trouble now. But he came up, he had a big smile on his face. He gave me the cheque. He put his arm around my shoulders, and he said, "Oh, Daz, that's marvellous." He said, "Don't know how you remember all those jokes." But ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased I remembered a few of my jokes tonight. My name is Darryl Peebles, I think, and thank you all for being my friends. Catch you later.
Darryl Peebles, here you come with this cup of tea. Did you drink your tea in the end? You didn't. You forgot to drink.